We're here today at the Bay for foster and adoptive parents in Broomfield. It's our time when Broomfield Health and Human Services celebrates the families that take care of children when they need an alternate living arrangement.
The most important thing we do in this world is raise our kids. And the foster program and the programs that the Health and Human Services are doing are essential for those parents, for whatever reason, whether it be drug abuse, it be because they were abused as kids who aren't able to raise their kids. The foster program, the adoptive programs that we have in Broomfield are something we're incredibly proud of.
We're celebrating and acknowledging all of the families who have been foster parents, who are currently foster parents, and who are adoptive parents of children either through social services, private adoptions, or through international adoptions.
Tell me when. We're just making a little chocolate sundaes with some sprinkles and some whipped cream.
It's perfect swimming weather. You know, we've got slides, we've got pools. It's a great gathering place for families and, you know, for parties like this. So this is one of the neatest venues, to say the least, in the state of Colorado.
What kid doesn't like to play at the pool, and what family doesn't like to sit in the sun and have their kids squirt them with squirt guns? And just the facility has just been a blast to work with.
We have foster parents and we have adoptive parents. Foster parents do strictly foster care. They will not be adopting the children. The children either will go back to their homes or they will go to an adoptive family.
They work really hard. They provide a service that otherwise we would have to put kids in group homes. We no longer have orphanages in Colorado, but if we did, that's where children who are removed from their homes due to abuse or neglect would end up. And so these families provide a safe and stable place for children to be raised, and then the adoptive families provide a permanent home for children who don't have another home to go to.
We're very careful with the families that we accept into foster care. We're all about safety, and that's safety for the child that we're placing and safety for the family that we're placing a child in. We want it to be a good experience for everyone and as safe as humanly possible. You don't have to have any specific background to be a foster parent. You have to be, you can be a parent, you can have not ever parented before. You'll learn a lot about yourself during the home study process, and we'll learn a lot about you, and together we'll figure out who you might be good to match with.
We have our 19-year-old bio son. He's here for the summer. We have a 16-year-old foster boy, and we have a 16-year-old nephew. So all of them stay inside the house with us. Poor Lynn and a bunch of testosterone.
Having a foster sibling is different than just like a regular sibling because you don't start like at birth with them, so you kind of start off wondering what they're into. A lot of times it is just like having a sibling.
Picked up one, and then after that kid left, we waited a while, we did another one. That kid left. We just sort of went back and forth. And so the 16-year-old we have now is actually, I think we counted like the 13th foster care kid we've actually encountered. We keep like a little work list that everybody has to go over. It's called the give back list. And every kid has something. They find some kind of way to give back to what's going on.
Learning that I just like to make a difference in people's lives and how, you know, a little bit can go a long way. It's always interesting to see how the kids start and how they finish.
You always try to put the kid up first, keep them in front, and you try to adjust things so they're going to be successful. Want them to be successful.
If you can't get involved with foster parents, and if you can't become a foster parent, then help support them, you know, help appreciate what they do.
There are lots of other ways to support foster care if you're not going to be a foster parent. I think fostering, like a lot of other areas of life, it's the right thing at the right time, and if you do the right thing at the wrong time, it'll turn out wrong. So wait for the right time to foster, and in between, you can support foster care by gathering foster care supplies for kids. We have a group of people that do first night bags for us, and that's everything in a little backpack that a child that brought nothing with them that day to foster care would have. Some jammies, some underwear, some socks, a toy, a color book, those kinds of things.
If you're not sure about it, you can sign up as a respite care person, take somebody for a weekend, for a day, give the foster parents a break. That's a great way to see what it is that you like about the program, what you don't like about the program, and what you think you can accommodate.
Health and Human Services addresses all of the needs of families in our community, and adoption and foster care is just one of those. We actually are the agency that responds to abuse and neglect allegations. We do investigations, And it's our role to really protect the kids in our society, to keep them safe, to maintain permanency, and to ensure that children have the best possible care.
They have assisted us with the children, provided all kinds of support. They've even assisted me with transporting kids to doctor's appointments when I work. I couldn't do this without them.
They do a really good job of making sure you're going to get what you need. You're going to be supported the way you need to be supported. And they're not going to let you fall in a crack. And that's a huge thing.
When the children go back home, my experience has been that they have gone back to their biological families. I often get asked if that's hard, if it breaks our heart. Our experience has been a positive one. The biological families that we've dealt with have worked very hard to get their children back.
It's really sad when it's over. It's a tough thing. It's kind of bittersweet because you do develop strong relationships with the kids.
The main goal for foster care first is reunification. That's a federal goal and a state goal and certainly a commitment of Broomfield to families. But sometimes reunification cannot happen, and when that situation arises, foster parents are often the first people to meet that need. I think some 60% of the kids that are adopted in foster care are adopted by their foster parents, many of whom never intended to adopt, some of whom already had that desire.
Well, I mean, first of all, for me personally, without question, I think the most important thing in life you do is raise your kids, and I have 5 daughters, 3 of which are grown, and I have my wife and I have 2 little adopted girls from China that are 5 and 8, and so adoptive parents and supporting the adoptive parents, whether it be international or foster adoptive parents, is very, very important to me personally.
It was the most rewarding thing that we ever did, was to be able to take children into our home and foster them and give them love and care. And it took us about 15 months to adopt the little boy we have now, but he was our 3rd foster child, and we adopted him, and now he's almost 5.
I'm going to come watch you swim after we
It's very important for kids to have a solid place to land, especially when their family is having trouble in a traumatic event. And foster families are that stable place where kids can be and be fully taken care of and be fully safe and can just be a kid. And during that time, a lot of healing can happen for them and a lot of learning.
You think that you're doing a lot for these kids, which, potentially you do, but every single kid has taught us something as well about ourselves. I think just the overall rewarding, feeling like you're giving back, helping somebody else in a time of need.
Everybody encounters a challenge inside of family life at some point. And you can maybe do something that's going to help. You feel better because of it. And you hope that when your chance comes up, when you run into a problem, there's somebody out there to sort of give back to you.
I never in my life thought we would become foster parents or either adoptive parents, and it was the most rewarding thing that I've ever done in my life.
I think that foster parenting is the ultimate volunteer experience. I think it's, you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent for a child that needs you today.